There's an uncomfortable truth that very few people talk about. And it's this. Sometimes you achieve exactly what you wanted, and you still feel empty. Yes, you worked hard, you endured difficult nights, you pushed yourself when no one was watching. You made sacrifices, you left things behind, you fought like a warrior. And one day, you made it. But something didn't feel the way you imagined it would, because you thought that once you got there, you would finally feel like you were enough. That once you had the money, the respect, the results, the recognition, the stability, or that goal you've been chasing for years, the emptiness would disappear. But it didn't. And then a frightened question appears. Now what? Because many times we're not chasing a dream, we're chasing a feeling of being valuable, the feeling of being enough. The feeling of proving something to the world, or perhaps to ourselves. And listen carefully. There is nothing wrong with wanting to grow. Don't lose hope. God still has the final word. There is nothing wrong with wanting more. There is nothing wrong with wanting to win. The problem begins when you turn your goal into your identity. When you stop saying, I want to achieve this, and start saying, if I don't achieve this, I'm worthless. That's where the prison begins. Because you're no longer moving forward out of passion, you're surviving out of obligation. You no longer enjoy the process, now you're carrying the burden. You no longer say, I have an opportunity. Now you say, I have to do this. And that difference destroys people, because physical exhaustion can be overcome, but soul exhaustion, that internal silence where you feel like something inside you is broken, that carries a different kind of weight. Maybe that's where you are today. You keep moving forward, but you no longer feel joy. You keep fighting, but something inside you is exhausted, and no one notices because you're still functioning, you're still smiling, you're still pretending, but deep down, you're tired. And maybe what you need isn't to give up. Maybe what you need is to ask yourself an uncomfortable question. Do I still love this? Or am I just afraid to let it go? Because there are dreams that are born from love, but over time they get hijacked by fear. Fear of losing, fear of disappointing others, fear of starting over, fear of discovering who you are without that title, without that goal, without that recognition. But listen to this carefully. Your worth was never found in the outcome, never. Your worth was found in the person you became while fighting for it, in the discipline you developed, in the tears that nobody saw, in the times you got back up while broken, in the days when nobody believed in you. And you kept going anyway. Because true growth doesn't happen when you win. It happens when you discover what you're capable of while you're still in the fight. Sometimes life allows certain silences, certain pauses, and certain losses, not to destroy you, but to help you hear that deeper voice again. The one reminding you that you were made for something greater than merely surviving. And maybe, just maybe, you're not as lost as you think you are. Maybe you're being redirected. Maybe you're learning that success without peace is too heavy to carry. Maybe you're discovering that not everything that shines will fulfill you. And that doesn't mean you failed. It means you're waking up. Don't be afraid to reevaluate your life. Don't be afraid to ask difficult questions. Don't be afraid to admit, this is no longer good for me. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't to keep running. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop. Face yourself honestly and ask, am I truly living? Or am I only chasing? Remember this. You were not born merely to achieve goals. You were born to become someone strong, aware, and whole along the journey. So if you feel empty today, it doesn't mean you're finished. It means something inside you is asking you to evolve, maybe your next best version. begins right after this crisis. If you choose not to give up today, prove it. Leave a like and subscribe. Change starts now.
Let me tell you something that maybe no one has ever told you directly. Your worth does not depend on your results. It doesn't depend on how much money you have. It doesn't depend on applause. It doesn't depend on how many people admire you. It doesn't depend on your position, your recognition, your fame, your business, your physique, or even your victories. But we live in a world that constantly tries to convince you otherwise. A world that makes you believe that you only matter when you produce, that you're only enough when you win, that you only have value when you prove something. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to build an identity based on results. You start telling yourself, when I achieve this, I'll finally feel complete. When I reach that goal, I'll finally find peace. When I get there, I'll finally become someone. But listen carefully. There are people who achieved everything they ever dreamed of and still feel broken inside. Because the problem was never the goal. The problem was the emptiness they started with, and no trophy can fill an exhausted heart. No amount of money can heal a wounded mind. No recognition can give you a peace that you haven't built within yourself. Maybe you've been living this way too, working nonstop, showing the world that you're strong, trying to win, trying to move forward, but secretly carrying a question that keeps following you. What if I'm never enough? And that question hurts, because it pushes you to work harder, to compare yourself more, to punish yourself more. You become a prisoner of an ideal version of yourself. You never rest, you never celebrate, you never acknowledge how far you've come. Because no matter how much progress you make, it never feels like enough. And this is how many people slowly destroy themselves. Not because they're weak, but because they confuse performance with identity. They believe they were their results, that if they failed at something, they were failures, that if they lost their value. But listen to me carefully. Failing at something does not make you a failure. Losing does not make you less worthy. Falling down does not define who you are. Having doubts does not make you incapable. And you don't have to be completely healed to deserve another chance to begin again. Take a moment and look back. Think about everything you've survived. The difficult nights, the rejection, the disappointments, the times you thought you weren't gonna make it. And yet, here you are, breathing, fighting, trying. Do you really think that means nothing? Of course it matters. It matters more than you realize, because there is a strength inside you that you haven't fully discovered yet. A strength that reveals itself precisely when everything seems to be falling apart. And maybe life was never trying to teach you to depend on results. Maybe it was trying to teach you something much deeper. To build yourself from the inside out, because sometimes everything around you falls apart. So that you can discover who you are when you have nothing left to prove, and in those strange silences of life when everything seems to grow dark sometimes, you can still sense that there is an unseen direction, a peace that's difficult to explain. As if something greater is still urging you not to give up. You are not behind. You are not finished. You are not less valuable just because you haven't arrived where you dreamed you'd be. Stop speaking to yourself like an enemy. Stop punishing yourself for not being where you thought you'd be by now. There are seasons in life when growth doesn't look like progress, but you are changing. And even if you can't see it yet, you are becoming stronger. You are not your bank account. You are not your followers. You are not your appearance. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures, and you are not your victories either. You are the person who keeps getting back up when giving up would be easier. So stop measuring your life only by results, because the strongest people are not the ones who always win. They are the ones who learn to keep moving forward, even while they are still becoming who they were meant to be. And before you go, remember this. Don't wait until you feel enough before you start believing in yourself. Start believing in yourself. And little by little, you'll discover that there has always been something valuable within you.
There are days when you don't need motivation. You need discipline. Because the truth is this: motivation is beautiful, but it's unstable. One day you wake up inspired. You feel energized. You want to conquer the world, you want to train, you want to work, you want to change your life, but the next day, you don't want to do anything. You feel tired, unmotivated, unfocused. And if your life depends entirely on how you feel, your life will become a roller coaster. That's why so many people start, but very few finish because they began with motivation, but gave up when exhaustion showed up. Listen carefully. Your life doesn't change on the day you feel inspired. Your life changes on the day you do what's right, even when you don't feel like it. That's the moment discipline begins building something powerful within you. Because discipline doesn't just change your results. Discipline changes your identity. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to respect yourself. You begin proving to yourself that your word means something, and that transforms people. Maybe today you feel lost, without direction, without energy, without purpose. And you're looking for a huge answer. You're waiting for a magical moment, a sign, complete clarity. But sometimes the answer isn't that complicated. Sometimes the answer is simple. Return to structure. Return to the small things. Wake up early. Organize your space. Train your body. Eat better. Work quietly. Stop negotiating with yourself, because when your mind is in chaos, discipline becomes an anchor. Something stable. Something that holds you together when everything else seems to be falling apart. Many people believe discipline is punishment. It's not. Discipline is self-respect in action. It's telling yourself, even if I don't feel like it today, I refuse to abandon myself. Because that's the difference. People who fail aren't always less intelligent. They don't necessarily have less talent. They simply abandon themselves more quickly. And I want you to think about this. How many times have you made promises to yourself and failed to keep them? I'm gonna start. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna break this habit. I'm gonna become better. But time passes, and you find yourself right back where you started. Do you know what damages self-confidence more than failure? It's not failing. It's losing faith in your own word, promising yourself something over and over again, and breaking that promise until, without realizing it, your mind starts to believe, it doesn't matter what I say, I'm not gonna follow through. That destroys people, but it can also be rebuilt. How? Through small victories. Small, not massive, not perfect, small. Get up even when you don't want to exercise, even when you're tired. Make that phone call, work one more hour. Read 10 pages, pray, reflect, or sit quietly for a moment. Just keep your promises to yourself. Because every time you do something difficult, you're proving something to yourself. I can trust myself. And that is priceless. Maybe you can't control everything happening in your life, but there are things you can control: your attitude, your effort, your consistency, your habits, and many times when everything feels out of control, those small decisions begin rebuilding you from the inside out. Sometimes in the middle of chaos, when nothing makes sense and everything feels heavy, there's something profound about simply remaining steady. As if consistency creates space for you to hear a direction that all the noise had kept hidden from you. Don't wait until you feel strong to take action. Take action, and strength will follow. Don't wait until you feel motivated. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment never comes. The difference between the person who changes their life and the person who only dreams about changing it is that one takes action even while exhausted, and the other waits to feel good first. So listen to this before you go. When you don't know what to do with your life, do something simple. Move, train, work, build healthy habits, restore structure. Because many times, discipline doesn't improve your life. Discipline saves you from becoming someone who stopped believing in themselves.
There is a season in life that no one teaches you how to face. The season when you wake up and no longer know exactly who you are. The season when something inside you has changed, when the things that once excited you no longer feel the same, when motivation disappears, when even the things you once loved begin to feel heavy, and the worst part isn't being tired. The worst part is feeling lost. God still welcomes broken hearts. Because when you lose your direction, you begin to question everything. Your purpose, your decisions, your dreams, your path. You even start asking yourself, am I wasting my life? And that question is heavy, incredibly heavy, because you see other people moving forward. You see people who seem confident. You see others accomplishing things. And you feel stuck, as if everyone else knows exactly where they're going. Except you. But listen carefully. Losing your direction does not mean losing your life. Sometimes it simply means that you've grown, and what once worked for you no longer works for the person you're becoming. And that hurts. Because it forces you to let go of old versions of yourself. It requires you to release old habits, old beliefs, old goals, even old identities. And let's be honest, letting go is terrifying. Because at least the familiar made you feel safe, even if it was exhausting you, even if it was slowly dimming your light. Many people continue living lives they no longer love, simply because they're afraid to start over, afraid of disappointing others, afraid of failing, afraid of looking confused. But let me tell you something important. There is nothing shameful about rebuilding yourself. What would be tragic is staying in a place that is destroying you simply because you've grown comfortable with the pain. Sometimes getting lost is necessary. Yes, necessary. Because when everything seems to fall apart, you begin asking questions you've never asked before. What do I truly want? What makes me feel alive? What am I doing just to impress other people? What part of myself have I ignored for years? And that's where something powerful begins. Not when you find all the answers, but when you have the courage to ask the right questions. Maybe today you don't have clarity. Maybe today you don't know what to do. Maybe you feel confused, without energy, without focus, without motivation. And I want you to understand something. That does not mean you're broken. It means you're going through a transition, and transitions are uncomfortable. Because you're not yet the person you're becoming, but you're no longer the person you used to be. It's unfamiliar territory, an uncomfortable space, a strange silence, but it can also become the place where your best version is born. Because the strongest people are not formed during easy seasons, they are shaped in uncertainty, in chaos, in difficult questions, in the days when there are no clear answers. And still they choose to keep walking, even if it's slow, even if they're afraid, even if they're confused, because they understood something important. You do not need to have everything figured out in order to move forward. You simply need to take the next step. One. Just one. Sometimes we want complete clarity before we take action, but many times clarity comes through movement, not before it. And in those moments when everything feels clouded, perhaps something deeper is quietly at work, something you don't fully understand yet, but something that has continued to hold you up even when you feel like you can no longer go on. Listen to this. You are not behind. You are not too late. You have not missed your opportunity. Life is not over because you feel lost today. In fact, many times true beginnings look exactly like this. Confusing, uncomfortable, quiet, difficult. So stop punishing yourself for not having all the answers. Breathe. Learn, observe yourself, reevaluate, rebuild, because losing your direction may be exactly what you needed to finally find yourself. And remember this. You are not lost. You are simply discovering a path you have never walked before. There is something you need to understand about pressure. Most people are afraid of it. They avoid it. They reject it. They complain about it. They say, there's too much pressure. I can't handle this. There's too much weight to carry. But I want to show you a different perspective. What if pressure isn't your enemy? What if it's a sign? Because let's be honest, no one feels pressure over something that doesn't matter. The world offers paths. Jesus offers salvation. No one feels pressure over something insignificant. Pressure shows up when something has value, when something demands growth, when life is calling for a stronger version of you. Think about it. A diamond requires pressure. Muscles require resistance. Character requires difficulty. And you need challenges too, even if you don't like hearing it. Because the uncomfortable truth is this: you want to grow. But you don't want to be uncomfortable. You want the next level, but without the pain. You want extraordinary results while avoiding the emotional weight that comes with them. But that's not how it works. Every form of growth has a price. Every step forward requires endurance. Every meaningful dream will challenge you. There will be days when you feel afraid, days when you doubt yourself, days when you'll think, I don't think I can handle this. And that's where many people turn back. Not because they lack the ability, but because they misunderstood pressure. They assumed that fear meant they should stop. They assumed that discomfort was a sign of failure. But listen to this. Feeling pressure does not mean you're on the wrong path. Many times it means exactly the opposite. It means you're growing. It means you're entering territory you've never been in before. It means your mind is still adapting to the level you're building. Because every new level demands a new mindset. The question isn't whether pressure will come. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Will it destroy you, or will it build you? Because there are two people facing the same problem. One says, this is crushing me. The other says, this is shaping me. The situation is the same. The difference lies in the interpretation. And yes, there are moments when the weight feels unbearable, moments when you feel like you can't breathe, when you question everything, when you want to give up. That's real too. But don't make permanent decisions based on temporary days. Don't walk away from something meaningful just because you're exhausted today. Don't confuse fatigue with incapability. Don't confuse fear with defeat. Don't confuse pressure with failure. Sometimes you're simply growing, and growth hurts because it demands that you leave behind older versions of yourself. Your excuses, your limitations, your insecurities, your outdated beliefs. Pressure didn't come to crush you. It came to show you how much potential you still haven't discovered. Because many times we don't know what we're capable of until we have no choice but to endure. Look at your life. How many times did you think, I'm not gonna make it through this? and somehow you did. How many times did it feel like too much? And yet, you kept going. You are stronger than your fear has led you to believe. Far stronger. And perhaps that burden you don't understand today, that weight that feels impossible to carry, didn't come to destroy you, but to prepare you as though something greater is being formed in silence while you're simply trying to survive. Don't run from all pressure. Learn to distinguish it. Yes, there is toxic pressure, but there is also the kind of pressure that forces you to evolve, the kind that pulls you out of your comfort zone, the kind that wakes you up, the kind that transforms you, because no one becomes the best version of themselves by staying comfortable all the time. So the next time you feel afraid, the next time the weight seems too heavy, ask yourself this: what if this isn't breaking me? What if it's building me? Because maybe what you call pressure today, you'll call growth tomorrow. And one day you'll look back and realize something powerful. The weight wasn't there to destroy you. It was there to reveal the strength you never knew you had.
There is a battle that almost no one sees. It's not with other people. It's not with your job. It's not with money. It's with yourself. With that voice inside your head. With that part of you that knows exactly what needs to be done, but keeps putting it off. The part of you that says, I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it when I feel better. I'll change when I have more time. But weeks pass, months pass, years pass, and you're still waiting. Waiting for motivation, waiting for clarity, waiting until you finally feel ready. Meanwhile, life keeps moving forward. And here's a difficult truth. Many times you're not tired, you're distracted from yourself because you've learned how to escape. You escape through your phone, through social media, through excessive work, through entertainment, through noise, through other people, through constant busyness, through excuses, all to avoid one uncomfortable conversation. The conversation with yourself, because silence reveals things. It reveals wounds, fears, insecurities, frustrations, abandoned dreams. It forces you to face the things you've spent years ignoring. And that is terrifying. That's why so many people choose to stay busy. Because being busy looks like progress. But it isn't always progress. Sometimes it's just a sophisticated way of running away from difficult questions. Why don't I feel okay anymore? Why do I feel empty? Why am I so exhausted? Why did I abandon the things that once mattered to me? Why am I afraid to try again? And I want you to hear this carefully. You're not lazy, you're not incapable, you're not broken, but maybe you've spent too much time distancing yourself from who you truly are. Because there comes a point when you don't need more advice. You need honesty. You need to sit with yourself without distractions, without excuses, and genuinely ask, what is really happening to me? Not what you pretend, not what you say in public, not the strong version everyone sees, the truth, the part you hide, the part nobody knows. Because healing begins when you stop pretending. Change begins when you stop lying to yourself. Growth begins when you have the courage to face who you really are. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Because acknowledging certain truths hurts. Admitting your mistakes hurts. Admitting your fears hurts. Admitting that you've been lost for a while, that hurts too. But do you know what hurts even more? Staying the same, looking back 5 years from now, and realizing that fear was running your life, that excuses won, that time passed and you never dared to try. Don't wait until you hit rock bottom to wake up. Don't wait for everything to fall apart. Pause now. Look at yourself. Listen to yourself. Evaluate your life. Maybe you don't need to change everything. Maybe you just need to stop running, because there are people who are incredibly busy, yet deeply empty. And there are people going through chaos who are finally finding themselves. The difference lies in one decision: to face yourself or to escape. And perhaps those uncomfortable moments when you find yourself alone with your thoughts are not a punishment. Perhaps they're quiet opportunities to hear something deeper, something that has been trying to guide you for a long time, even when the noise of life kept you from noticing it. Don't be afraid to look within. That's where many answers are found. That's where the pain is.
but also the transformation. That's where the fear is, but also the growth, because the greatest enemy isn't always outside of you. Many times, it's the version of yourself that keeps waiting for the perfect moment to begin. And before you go, remember this: your life changes the moment you stop running from yourself and start becoming the person you've been avoiding for far too long. There's something I want to tell you today. And maybe you need to hear it more than you realize. Don't give up on yourself. Yes, you can grow tired of the dream. You can become frustrated with the process. You can feel disappointed by people, but don't give up on yourself. Because there's a huge difference between being tired and being finished. And many times we confuse a difficult season with the end of our story. You have a few bad days, and you think your whole life is falling apart. You make mistakes, and you think you've ruined everything. You lose focus, and you convince yourself that you're no longer capable. But listen to this carefully. A bad season does not define your destiny. A bad month does not determine your future. One setback does not cancel your potential, and one mistake does not erase your worth. Life moves in seasons. There are moments when you feel unstoppable, motivated, strong, clear-minded. But there are also moments when you don't even know what to do with yourself. Moments when you feel exhausted, confused, uninspired, and that's part of the journey too. The problem is that many people judge themselves too quickly. They punish themselves too harshly. They speak to themselves in terrible ways. They fail once and immediately call themselves failures. They fall behind for a while and suddenly believe they've lost everything. But let me ask you something. If someone you deeply loved were going through exactly what you're going through right now, would you speak to them the way you speak to yourself? Would you tell them they're no longer good enough? That they can't do it? That it's too late? No. Then why do you say those things to yourself? Why are you so cruel to the person who needs your compassion the most? Listen to me carefully. You are learning, and learning is uncomfortable. Growing is uncomfortable. Rebuilding yourself is uncomfortable. You won't always have clarity. You won't always have motivation. You won't always feel strong. There will be days when doing the bare minimum is all you can manage, and even then, you'll still be moving forward. Because progress doesn't always look impressive. Sometimes progress looks like getting out of bed when you don't feel like it, like trying again after you failed, like standing back up one more time when you're already exhausted. That counts too. It matters more than you think. Don't minimize your effort. Don't overlook how far you've come. Because I know something about you. You have survived difficult things more than you probably give yourself credit for. There were days when you thought you couldn't make it, and somehow you did. There were heavy nights, painful moments, dark seasons, and yet, here you are. Do you know what that says about you? It says that you're stronger than you think, more resilient than you believe, more capable than you've allowed yourself to imagine. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet. That's okay. But you're not where you started either. And that matters a lot. Don't underestimate small progress. Don't overlook small victories. Because a meaningful life is built through small steps repeated consistently over time. And perhaps those seasons when everything feels slow, when you doubt yourself and feel like you're not moving forward, are not signs of abandonment or silence. Maybe they are spaces where something deeper is shaping you with patience. Even if you cannot see it yet. Don't abandon your process just because you're tired today. Don't destroy your future because of a temporary emotion. Don't make permanent decisions during moments of desperation. Breathe. Rest if you need to. Reevaluate if necessary. Adjust your path. But don't abandon yourself. Because something beautiful happens when you choose to keep believing in yourself. Even before you see results, you begin to build character. You begin to build confidence. You begin to become someone who is truly strong. And remember this before you go. You don't have to be perfect to change your life. You only need one decision. The decision to not give up on yourself. One more time.